If you're generating commercial cleaning leads, but they're not consistently turning into walkthroughs or actual conversations, the issue usually isn't the lead. It's usually what happens after the leads reply. Look, we work with over 50 commercial cleaning and janitorial companies across the US, and one of the most common breakdowns and issues that we see across these clients, it's nothing to do with their marketing. It's usually scheduling, following up with the leads, and also speed to lead. So in this video, I'm gonna walk you through exactly what should happen the moment a lead comes into your inbox, why response times matter so much more than anything else, including having a perfect script or a perfect tactic, and how to consistently turn written interest into real opportunities without overcomplicating it. So the first thing, response time is not optional. We require our clients to respond within 90 minutes during work hours to every new lead that's delivered, whether it's a neutral reply or a positive reply. If it makes sense while we sent it over, it needs to be taken action on. So this is during business hours, Monday through Friday. Outside of business hours, that's fine. Reply whenever, ideally, sooner the better. But during work hours, that 90-minute window is a firm requirement in our agreement so that our clients can actually make our services work for them and then get a return on their investment rather than us generating leads and they can't book any of these walkthroughs because they're way too slow to actually respond to them, or they're a one-hit wonder. They reply on that first day that they get the lead and then never reply again and don't do anything to actually salvage the opportunity. It's about being quick, following up, and being relentless. So obviously we're reasonable. If you're on a walkthrough, you're presenting, closing a deal, tied up in something critical, that happens. So that 90-minute window, of course, can have exceptions to it. But if you see a lead, you're available, you're in your truck, in your car, or you can make that call. You're on a walk, you're in the office, you're literally on your computer, call right away. Because in that moment, you're not interrupting them. You're going to probably get a hold of them. You're literally responding to someone that raised their hand, showed interest, and had their phone number in their email signature on purpose, because they want people to contact them, and phone's usually the easiest. It's a warm call. Or you can go to their office phone number on Google Maps or their website, call them up, make sure you're asking for the right person, or just go through the phone tree and connect with the person that literally just responded to you about 10 minutes ago or 15 minutes ago. If you can, call them up right away. So strike when the iron's hot. And here's what most people don't really think about. You're literally days away from these leads, these prospects that you paid good money to generate these leads from, them going inbound to someone else, some other competitor in your service area. They're gonna hit up another company's website, they're gonna scroll Google Maps listings and call the phone numbers there, book appointments. They're gonna go to people in their network, in their community, and ask for a referral and try to figure out who the best commercial cleaning companies in the area are. And it probably isn't your business, just being real with you. Your local competitors, the ones that are fighting for the same accounts in your market, most of them are not going to be doing what I'm going to tell you. So they're probably running cold email campaigns. The majority of cleaning companies we speak with are running a cold email campaign if they have more than 10 clients. That's pretty much the standard. They're working with a lead generation agency or they're doing it themselves. The thing though is that they're not gonna be moving this fast as you, because you know what to do. They're not gonna be following up on these leads consistently, and that's exactly why you're going to beat them. You're gonna be getting the highest conversion rate across your market because you know what to do when the interest is still hot. Ideally, you're calling within 2 to 15 minutes during work hours, not 60, 90 minutes. The sweet spot is 2 to 15 minutes during work hours. Realistic every time? No. But if you're striving for it and hitting that window consistently, you're gonna be consistently producing better conversations, more walkthroughs, more phone call conversations that validate to see if it's even worth driving out there, and also clearer outcomes and more clients closed and more money. So once hours passed, or God forbid, even if the lead still eventually responds on the 6th or 7th time, that interest level and chance of converting the lead compared to the day that they respond, or even 15 minutes within them responding, that interest level is shrunk maybe by 90%. I don't know the exact number, but speaking with clients, they say, yeah, we get in touch with people on the 6th or 7th time. I speak with most people that you send over to us, but they're not converting. And the reason is because that first attempt, especially within 2 to 15 minutes of them replying, calling them up is going to be converting so much more than letting that initial hour, again, 15 minutes, go by. So they might have already gone to other websites. We maybe even brought the interest to them through our cold email campaigns, but they couldn't convert the lead because they were too slow. The lead got distracted. Life happens. So they might have missed out on the opportunity because the lead is going inbound, calling people up days after that. So just know that even if the lead looks super interested, they might still not convert because your follow-up routine and speed to lead wasn't there. So once hours pass, or God forbid days, if not weeks, even if the lead eventually responds to fourth, fifth, sixth, or seventh attempt, that quality of the conversation drops off a cliff. So the chance of that lead actually becoming an opportunity is so much lower if you're getting in touch with them later down the stage of your follow-ups versus getting in touch with them within 15 minutes of them responding, if not even quicker than that. You really didn't lose the lead if you're too slow and you can't convert them because you're on like the fourth or fifth follow-up attempt and you still get in touch with them, or they just are non-responsive. You're losing momentum. And in business, especially commercial cleaning, momentum is everything because it's a service area. There's a lot of competitors, especially in the metropolitan markets that are larger or have higher density of population. A lot of competition, so you need to move quickly. People are paying more for advertising on Google and such. And also they have better search engine optimization. They're paying companies to really make sure that they're the top of your market. And so using cold email, it's, I would say, a affordable and highly effective method that runs in the background to generate you leads. But if you're generating these leads and you can't convert them into actual conversations and walkthroughs, what's it worth? So not to beat a dead horse here, but speed isn't just about being helpful. It's selfishly being first. It's about being first and actually converting the leads that you're paying good money for, whether it's a lead generation agency that you're working with, whether it's us or someone else, or you're actually doing cold email internally for your own company to generate these leads. So now here's the exact cadence we use, no variation, and what our clients have been doing for months over end now, and it's been working and proven to work. We don't really change it much anymore because it works. Don't reinvent the wheel if you don't need to. So first thing is you call first. Call once. If they don't answer, call right back. So don't wait a whole minute, just as soon as you can. 10 seconds, 15 seconds, 20 seconds, whenever you can, call them right back. On that second dial, it's going to get through the do not disturb filter on Android or iPhone, but at the same time, it shows importance. So of course, if it's an office line, it just shows importance. So the do not disturb is not going to be applying there, but it's a normal thing. People are doing it. Heck, whenever I call my parents or call my friends, I'm calling twice because they might have that filter on there to block the call right away. So I know to call right back. It's normal. So don't think it's too aggressive or going to rub them the wrong way. So once you dial the second time, so you double dial, you leave a voicemail. If you're leaving a voicemail, nothing fancy. Literally just state why you're calling. So you're calling because they said this over email. You generate this warm lead from email or they asked a specific question. So just state it. Say the sender email that you're sending from, and then also the subject line that will be in that email thread. Ideally be responding within the current email thread and conversation that's happening. And remember, say the email that you're sending from and also the subject line so they can go and search in their email inbox if they need to. So the last piece of the puzzle is email reply. This is a very, of course, obvious thing to do, but this is where many cleaners go wrong, or salespeople at cleaning companies. It's not leaving manual time slots. So once you've called, you left the voicemail, now you're emailing them, basically say, hi, name, ask any specific questions. I would max out at 2, ideally not even ask any questions, or simply just say, confirming what address this is for, and then say, I'm available, and give time slots. So today is January 12th, the Monday. You could say tomorrow or Tuesday, January 13th at 2 p.m., 2:30 p.m., 2:45, 4 p.m. And then also Wednesday on January 14th at 9 a.m., 9:15, 1 p.m., 3 p.m., 4 p.m. where you could do like between these times. It's better just to do exact times, and I would have at least 2 different dates. You can do 3 as well and have at least 2 different time slots for that date. You don't need to be having time zones in there. These are local prospects unless you run a national company and you're based in a different area and you don't really want to go check what time zone they're in, or self-explanatory. It might make sense to put a time zone in there, but for most companies watching this video, cleaning companies work in a specific service area, so just say times. The time zone is assumed. So that's the reply template. And at the end of your email reply, you should have a otherwise, if any of these times don't work for you, or if you want to schedule from my calendar, here it is. So link your free Calendly or whatever scheduling calendar software that you use. Always ask questions in there to make sure you understand what the address is, maybe even services per week. This is a good opportunity to kind of qualify the lead. If they're using the calendar link, which is a very low percentage of these people, but if they're doing it, they're probably going to be open to actually filling out what you're asking. So don't go over and make it extremely hard to book, and don't have like yes or no and dequalification questions. Just simply ask questions. Then if they're not a good fit, you can kind of fish it out from the questions they asked, call them and clarify, or you can just simply email them and say, hey, based on the answers you're putting, I'm not sure if you're incorrect about this, but we're probably not going to be the best fit based on what you were saying. And that's totally fine. It's saving your time. It's also saving the prospect's time, so they can go on to Google or whatever and look for another cleaning company that can actually work with them. So this really matters more than you think in terms of giving them manual time slots and also a calendar booking link if they'd prefer to do that anyways. A lot of people are digital forward or prefer just to book from a calendar link. I do. So if they have the option, they're going to be doing it. So always give them as many options as possible, but not over complex. Just simply, I'm available at this time on this day. Same with another day, and then a calendar link if that works better, if they want to use that calendar link. Another shameless plug here about our current service. A lot of the lead generation agencies out there that would work with you are huge users of Calendly and booking links. So that's your competition. You're not really competing against people that are asking for manual time slots. You're also not getting people that are calling right away, calling twice. These are non-traditional methods of leaving manual time slots and not just sending over a Calendly link. People that run lead generation agencies, or even if you're a company running this internally, you're learning on YouTube to send over the Calendly link or your booking link. That's the last thing that you want. You still want to include it, like I was saying earlier, in your email templates, but you want to call the phone number right away, be aggressive, be relentless in your follow-up, and then at the same time, email them with manual time slots and a booking link secondary after those manual time slots, and enough of those manual time slots. And then again, going back to it, your competition is sending over just a booking link. So that booking link is the common thing to see, and that's going to be turning off a lot of prospects, especially facility managers, office managers, front desk people, or owners. They're not going to be liking that booking link, and they don't want to go and click a link that's outside of their company's cybersecurity practices if it's a larger enterprise. But at the same time, having a manual time slot that someone can literally just say, sure, I'm available on Monday at 9 a.m. That works for me. Cool. Lock it in, send their email an invite, and then you go visit at that time. And then at the very, very end, just say your name, your first name, and then the email signature will be simply your company name. You can put your company website in there as well. Your phone number, ideally 2 phone numbers. So direct an office or cell an office. Then finally your company address, so they can actually understand it's in the service area. If, again, going back to a national account, if you have a headquarters somewhere else, you can literally just say the city and state of where this office is actually located and say serving this city and state, or you can just completely avoid that last piece with the address. So that's the reply template that we encourage and really have our clients required to be using on that first initial touch point when they're replying back after their call and voicemail piece of the first attempt. So the next thing to note as well is that every lead needs to be treated the same, whether they're saying sure, yes, or they're saying, hey, yeah, I need cleaning services next week, our current vendor is no longer in business, or maybe even they're saying, hey, it's a perfect timing, thanks for reaching out, let's schedule something for tomorrow if you're available. That variation between different replies, of course, it seems like those are going to convert a lot differently. And that is true, 100% true. But even the replies that are sure, very cold, those do convert. So you need to treat those all equally, validate and schedule them as if it's any other lead. And I'll just be honest here, me managing my email inbox, if it's a cold email, if it's coming from a domain that doesn't look like it's actually the main company website, if it's something that I need or something that I'm interested in, or it makes sense to reply to, I will reply to it. But most of the time it's gonna be something cold. I'm gonna be pretty quiet on that first initial touch point back to that person, because I want to see if it's actually, first off, not a spam source. Second thing, it's not some cybersecurity attacker. And then last, it's actually someone that cares and they will respond back to me quickly. Think about it. If you're responding to someone that's trying to sell you something and you're actually interested, you want them to respond ideally very quickly and with something that's just trying to get you on the meeting and not going back and forth over email. Of course, there's sometimes you want to go back and forth in email, but really just get the answer as quick as possible. And there's nothing better than a warm call, and there's nothing better than a meeting or just having the company come and visit you so that you can really understand everything and what they can provide. So now, when someone is non-responsive on that first attempt to get in touch with them within the 15-minute window or as soon as you can, now you're going to be repeating that call, voicemail, email as a set. So it's one set to do that on the first attempt. Now you need to be doing it 6 more times afterwards. There's a rule of thumb in marketing that 7 times is a magic number. And I don't know where that actually came from, but I've always had that of where I came from in terms of growing up in the sales space. So call, voicemail, email, a total of 7 times each set. And the first attempt is within 15 minutes ideally. And then every 2 to 3 days, do the set. So you can also, like we see clients call maybe 6 hours after they get the lead, after they've already done that first initial touch point. But realistically, if you just want to make it easy and standard, every 2 to 3 days, and that accounts for weekends as well. So of course on Saturday or Sunday, don't call or email, wait till the Monday and just take action accordingly. But every 2 to 3 days until you get to that 7th step, remember again, those last steps with the call, voicemail, email sets, they're going to be lower chances of actually converting the lead into a walkthrough because maybe they've already looked elsewhere, or they've lost interest, or maybe they have a bad feeling about your company because you didn't respond quickly when they initially had interest. But really, that is the core cadence of how to follow up in the most strategic and proven way. Something that works even better that we see clients doing is dropping in. So on that second attempt or the third attempt, I would do this as a cleaning company, because they already showed interest. So treat it as a warm drop-in, not a cold drop-in, not a door knocking session. Drop in, bring something, just bring yourself maybe, but they already showed interest. So take advantage of that and strike when the iron's hot for that as well. So it's not cold door knocking. I want to reiterate that. Yes, you're putting more effort in to be quick. You're having more of an urgency to get in touch with these leads and also follow up with them consistently and repeat the entire follow-up set each time every 2 to 3 days, or maybe even a quicker cadence than that. Your goal is to work smarter, not harder. And this is working smarter because it's going to be leading to more sales, because it's more conversions into conversations and walkthroughs. These are leads that present themselves and say, yes, I'm interested. They reached back out to you. So take advantage of that neutral or positive intent and convert it to see if it's worth pursuing and driving out to that facility and quoting them. Last, I do want to go over, like we tell all of our clients as we're onboarding them, our piece in the puzzle. And just any lead generation agency, or if you're doing cold email yourself, you got to understand the core aspect of just marketing for cold email. A contact is a contact. So it's basically someone you pull from your lead list database. It's an email assigned to someone that's in your service area as a facility manager, or a location specific contact email. So the contact at abcdental.com. That's a contact. A lead is someone that presents themselves and says, yes, I'm interested, asks about pricing, wants a quote, asks a specific question around what you do. That's a lead. Doesn't mean it's always a qualified lead. Doesn't also mean it's a quality lead. The last thing is a scheduled walkthrough. So it's something that was actually converted into something that's on the calendar. That's a scheduled walkthrough. That's not a lead. Of course, you can go on and on about closed won, closed lost after an opportunity is created, but really it's contact, lead, scheduled walkthrough. That's how we treat it. Just so you know about our business, we are that lead piece of the puzzle. If a quality lead is generated, that's what counts. So it has to be in your service area, has to be valid interest now or within the next 3 months. And then finally, it's not part of the industries you don't want to go after. So a lot of our clients don't want to go after restaurants, nightclubs, bars, sometimes religious, sometimes auto mechanics. We will exclude those. And if it does come through, we're not perfect, it doesn't count. As long as you're letting us know in the notes, we have a lead tracking sheet that's in a Google sheet. As long as you're letting us know, and then you're in the clear, it's not a quality lead, it doesn't count against the guarantee. So for us at the current moment, we're guaranteeing 10 quality commercial leads at a minimum, with expected 10 to 40 each and every month quality commercial leads. And again, quality only, not bogus. So if you are interested, there's a link in the description below. Go click on it and you can learn more about our services, talk to our team, and see how we can get you more quality commercial leads in your service area. Thank you for watching. I will see you in the next video. Bye.